courses in this every week, and we have teachers now throughout the world teaching this form of meditation, which is not an improvised form. It's very ancient, has several thousand years of history.
Right. It's worked for thousands of years, so it'll work for us today
Right.
too.
It's like a well-trodden path.
Right, right. Now that would be the first step then for us to know, first of all, quiet ourselves, meditation.
Right.
And meditation, can it start with a few minutes a day and it expands into whatever works for you? Is that how it is?
Yeah, generally though, to be effective, it should be about 20 minutes.
Per day?
Twice a day.
Twice a day?
Yeah.
Better in the beginning of the day and then the end of the day?
Yes, early in the morning and then about late afternoon.
I know personally to meditate for myself, the only time I get raising a family and that kind of thing is to grab it the very first part of the day.
Yes.
And that's when I'm freshest anyway.
Yeah,
so.
and then if you do it late afternoon, then you're fresh again for the rest of the evening.
Yeah.
Because meditation lowers your stress hormone levels, it gives you deep rest, and as you know, if you're deeply rested, then you feel very dynamic.
Oh, sure. Yeah. One of my favorite laws of the universe is the Law of Dharma, and if I may quote this, I'd like to quote it. Everyone has a purpose in life, a unique or special talent to give to others. And when we blend this unique talent with service to others, we experience the ecstasy and exaltation of our own spirit, which is the ultimate goal of all goals. Can you explain that a little bit about how that works?
Well, every child that is born has a couple of unique talents or unique gifts. What we do as a society and as parents is that we frequently focus on the weaknesses and not on the strengths. For example, if your child is weak in mathematics and good at music, then you usually get him a math tutor, not a piano teacher. And if you did, in fact, focus on the strengths and not the weaknesses, then that same child might become a very great musician, and he could easily hire an accountant to do his math for him. What we do, though, is just the opposite. We focus on the weaknesses and not on the strengths. If you look at children and what they really enjoy doing, when do they do something that is almost playful, and they playfully express their talents. So each of us has a unique gift and a unique way of expressing it. And when we express our unique talents in our unique way, then one of the symptoms is that we lose track of time. We're having such a good time, it's not even work, it's play. So again, if you could sit down, close your eyes, quieten your mind and ask yourself, if I had all the money in the world and I had all the time in the world, what would I do? Well, that's your unique expression, that's your song. And when you're singing your song and helping other people as well, then you're practicing the Law of Dharma.
So that's what the Chopra Center for Wellbeing is for you.
Absolutely.
Right. And one aspect for me is this show.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
And one thing that I also wanted to let the public and the audience know is that everybody has at least one of those purposes. And the thing about it is when you experience that joy, you feel unstoppable.
Unstoppable. And it can be anything. If it's traveling, you love traveling, then you should work in a travel agency. If you love food, create a restaurant. Whatever you love, use that to help other people.
Right.
The best way to get what you want is help other people get what they want. And you do that by singing your song.
Right. And when you're singing your song, you're also instrumental in making them realize that, hey, they can do that too. If she can attain that, he can attain that. You're also and I think this with you, you're a leader in showing the world that, hey, this is what I am supposed to do. I'm not any different than you. I'm not any different than any of you, and we all have that potential.
Right.
We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, I've got a couple more questions for you. So we'll be right back in just a second.
Brian's a student that I had in my resource class. came from a very poor background. Brian just needed a friend, so we paired him with a community leader. He would take him to rodeos, and then he would take him to plays and different things that this child would never have been exposed to. This man taking his time to come and have lunch with him meant more than anything.
Point a kid in the right direction. This is General Colin Powell of America's Promise. Call us and help keep America's Promise.
And we're back with Dr. Chopra. The next question I have for you is, I read an interview where you said that you believe the state of poverty and wealth were a state of consciousness. And kind of continuing on with our question that we were talking about, if you're following your life purpose, are you going to be in the state of consciousness of wealth automatically? Is it going to be a natural?
Yeah, wealth consciousness is a state of awareness where you don't worry about money, because you know that the source of well-being and the source of wealth and the source of economic freedom is within you. It's the source of everything else. And being pure potentiality, there's an infinite supply of it. So if there's an infinite supply, if you knew that you had, X billion dollars in your bank, you wouldn't be worried.
True.
So, but you do,
right.
And you do have it all in your own consciousness. When you worry about money, then it doesn't matter how much actual money you have in the bank, then you're a poor person. So, if you're thinking about it all the time, if it's a source of concern, if you're worried what will happen to your bank balance when the stock market crashes, if you are constantly concerned about paying your bills, then actually it doesn't really matter the physical amount of cash you have. You're still a poor person because your state of consciousness is one of concern. So it's a state of awareness. Now when you don't have that concern because you know there's an infinite supply, and that you're singing, there's a poem by Rumi, who's one of my favorite poets. He says, I want to sing like birds sing, not worrying who hears or what they think. When you're expressing your unique abilities in your unique way, and you're at the same time of service to your fellow human beings, then where it comes from, there's always more coming. When we do projects here, sometimes we don't even look at how much money there may or may not be in the cash supply.
Right.
The money will come from wherever it is in the moment. And where is it in the moment? It's in the universe. In every seed, there's the promise of thousands of forests. Every seed has the promise of thousands of forests. If you look at nature, nature is lavishly, extravagantly, wastefully abundant.
That's right.
And that's God's mind, if you will, or the mind of the universe. When we align our mind with that mind, then there is no dearth of abundance. But again, remember the rule. The rule is, if you want to make money, then you have to help other people make money. Whatever you do, whatever you want in your life, if you want success, you have to make other people successful. If you want love, you have to make other people feel loved. If you want respect, you have to make other people feel respected. If you want money, then you have to help other people make money.
So you're always being of service.
You're always being of service. That's circulation.
So nobody should ever have a personal consciousness of poverty if they are following the true law of Dharma. They're following their song.
That's right.
Why does it happen that we have a problem?
Always think in terms of giving. Human beings are meant to serve, to give, to love, and if you just have those as your main priorities, then you'll never have to worry about anything.
So why do we worry?
Again, it's the hypnosis of social conditioning.
And social conditioning is telling us that this is what's important out here: the best car, the best looking wife, the best house. And
Yeah. If you look at what people really